I hate questions like this, but I'm gonna answer it. First of all, I come from a world that is violent, and violence solves most problems in the sport that I played and that I coach. Sudden, dramatic, violent force. But when it comes to relationships, there's no place for domestic violence. I don't usually answer questions like this. I come from a world where pressure is normal, where conflict is expected, where men disagree, still shake hands. So when this question came across my screen, I paused. Because I've seen this pattern before, not just in relationships, but in locker rooms, boardrooms, and life. Here's the question, and I'm only answering it because I opened the can of worms. Why is it that when I win an argument, or when my point is solid, the man becomes disrespectful, even abusive? I've seen it happen in real time. I've watched grown men grow quiet when logic corners them. I've seen shoulders tense, jaws clench, voices change. And I've learned something important. When a man turns disrespectful after losing an argument, it's rarely about the argument. It's about what just got exposed. See, some men don't argue to understand. They argue to stay in control. And the moment control slips, the moment your clarity stands firm, they don't know what to do with it. It's just too uncomfortable. So some men reach for the only tool they've ever been given: volume, disrespect, aggression. Not strength, panic. I remember moments in my playing days, film room debates, competitive conversations, where a man would realize he didn't have the answer. The strong ones leaned back, thought, adjusted. The fragile ones, they postured. Because when identity is tied to being right, being challenged feels like being threatened. And here's the truth most people don't want you to say out loud. Logic threatens fragile identity. Let me be clear, that's not your fault. That's emotional immaturity. And let me be clear, clarity does not cause abuse. It reveals it. Here's where people get confused. They think, if I just explain it better, if I soften it, if I choose better words. No. Once disrespect enters the room, the conversation is already over. Because you can't reason someone back into regulation once they've escalated. That's not communication anymore. That's loss of self-control. So here's the strategy. Simple, grounded, real world. The moment the tone shifts, you stop engaging. Not with anger, not with fear, with calm authority. I'm open to discussion, not disrespect. We can talk later. Then you disengage, because disrespect feeds on reaction. And silence, well, it removes its fuel. Next, you watch patterns, not apologies. Anyone can apologize after they cool down, but patterns don't lie. If someone consistently escalates when challenged, blames you afterwards, and repeats the behavior, that's not misunderstanding, that's character. And the final truth, you are not meant to become better at surviving bad dynamics. You're meant to stop entering them. Healthy men can disagree without degrading. They can lose arguments without attacking. They don't fear clarity, they respect it. If someone can't handle respectful disagreement, they're not safe for intimacy, emotionally or otherwise. And if abuse is present or escalating, you seek help immediately. Not just for yourself, but because unchecked behavior harms everyone involved. So hear me clearly. Clarity didn't create the problem. It exposed it. And exposure is not your responsibility to manage. It's your responsibility to walk away. Those are thoughts from my life. Sometimes I miss the lights, the cameras, the post and pregame interviews, but mostly I miss answering questions that help people. So if you have a question, ask away, and maybe you and it will be the future topic featured on this channel. Let me do a side note on that. If you're being abused or around abuse, not only report it, but get your ass about that situation. You don't deserve it, you deserve more, and you gotta respect yourself enough to find freedom and safety. God bless you.